sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. I'm also got the Flyers game on in the corner. I'm pissed. What a joke call by a referee. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch broadcasts, it's easy. Just go to shrmedia.com. Or, there's 2 other ways. Yes, there is. You can go to Facebook or YouTube and just search for SHR Media. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button while you're there. How's everybody been? I had internet issues. I hate Comcast. I hate Comcast. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. I don't like Comcast. I haven't for a while. I used to love them. They've gotten too big for their bridges, and now they are a joke. So, we're going to have some fun tonight. You know what we got to discuss. And we're going to get to Mr. Al. I like to grab boobies while they are sleeping, Franken. But for right now, our good old friend Maxine Waters is in the news again. And you'll never guess what she is calling for and talking about. She says, I inspire people by calling for Trump's impeachment. And you know what? I agree. She does inspire people. Maybe not in how she means to inspire, but I agree. She's inspiring. She's inspiring people to make sure the Democrats don't win. It's a problem with her rhetoric. But, of course, we have the jackass Republicans in the Senate that are trying to do everything they can to fuck it up and lose. And Paul Ryan's not trying to do any much better. So, Thursday on Bloomberg, Representative Maxine Waters said when she calls for President Donald Trump to be impeached, she inspires people. Maxine Waters said, let me just say this. No. Oh, I'm sorry. That's somebody else. I have learned over the years, and I have been in this business, that there are a few people who are willing to speak truth to power and to talk about what really is bothering our society and our democracy. It is not thought well of to step outside of that box. When I talk about impeachment, I describe what I think about this president. I think he is a deplorable. I think he defined himself in the campaign the way that he mocked and mimicked a disabled journalist. See how they're still using that? That's already been debunked. But they don't have anything to say, so they got to go over the same crap. And there's still some people that, well, they don't go outside their little world, so they don't know that was debunked. The way he talked about grabbing a woman by their private parts, the way he called names of his peers, just as Democrats do. Democrats go around insulting people just as much, so she has no fucking place to talk. She's going around insulting Trump, calling him names, but that's okay, because she's doing it. It's okay when she does it, but he can't do it. I think that is unacceptable. For people to allow this kind of behavior to be normalized is beyond what I believe our democracy should be all about. She added, I encourage people and I inspire people and I show people that you do not have to be intimidated. And what do you think you're doing? You're trying to intimidate people. You do not have to be afraid. Damn right I don't have to be afraid. And you don't scare me. You do not have to be traditional. You could be a whack job like Maxine Waters. You need to step outside of the box and tell it like it is. All right. You are a criminal. You are a lying has-been, maybe never were. You are using this for political gains for your party. You are playing partisan politics. You are outright lying to the American people so you can gain more wealth. You are a traitor to everybody. And you do not deserve to be in that seat, Maxine. You deserve to be impeached. And she goes on more about perhaps he should be impeached and focus on what he has done, the way he has defined himself, his relationship with Putin. But you have no problem with the Democrat relationship, Hillary's relationship with Putin. You make every single excuse for her, but ignore that she made millions upon millions of dollars from Putin and Russia. That's okay. Whew. The hypocrisy is tight with this one. And the belief that there has been collusion and obstruction of justice. Well, collusion, first of all, is not a crime. No collusion, no evidence, no facts, no nothing, just your empty rhetoric. Obstruction of justice, how? There's no crime. Trump was never investigated by Comey. So you can't say he was obstructing justice by firing Comey, who was investigating, which is their logic, but yet Comey was not investigating Trump, so therefore there is no obstruction of justice. It's just more talking points. And you won't listen to fact. You don't want a conversation. You want to go up there and you want to get your 15 minutes of fame, Maxine Waters. Well, you're the one that gives Washington, D.C. a bad name. Hi, Jenna. How are you doing? Democrats are not having a good time. This was somewhat good news for them today. Bob Menendez, Senator Bob Menendez's trial has been declared a mistrial. A federal judge on Thursday declared a mistrial in the high-profile bribery case of the New Jersey Democrat Senator Bob Menendez after jurors twice reported they were hopelessly deadlocked. There's no alternative to declaring a mistrial, the judge stated. The mistrial is a major victory for Menendez and a blow to the Justice Department, whose efforts to go after politicians in recent years has not been successful. Outside the courthouse, an emotional Menendez made clear he's out for political vengeance. Oh, that's nice. He's basically going on threatening political vengeance. Oh, just what you want to do. To those who are digging my political grave so they could jump into my seat, I know who you are, and I won't forget you, he said after the verdict. Menendez also took a swipe at federal prosecutors and the FBI pursuing the case against him in the first place. To those who are certain elements of the FBI in the state cannot stand, or even worse, accept that a Latino kid from Union City in Hudson County grew up to be a United States Senator and be honest. No, you took money when you shouldn't have. Congratulations, Jenna. You took money, you took bribes. They just weren't able to fully prove it in the court of law. You are as crooked. You are from New Jersey. You're a Jersey politician. You are fucking crooked. It has nothing with you being a Latino. It has to do with you being a goddamn criminal. Of course, you had juror Edward Norris, a 49-year-old equipment operator, told reporters he didn't think the government proved anything. They didn't. Just how much money did he have to repay after it was pointed out for trips, and then there was other trips he never repaid for? I think they proved it right there. Norris told reporters that 10 people on the jury wanted to acquit Mendez of all charges, while 2 held out for conviction. Thursday's mistrial begins an inclusive end to the 2.5-month trial. Prosecutors could decide to retry Mendez, though it's unlikely. The other thing to consider is that this case was brought by a different attorney general and a different Department of Justice. Politics has no place in the justice process, however, it does factor into it. And that's the funny part. He's screaming that it's politics and against him. It was the Obama administration that started this. This whole investigation was started under Obama. And so he's claiming Obama went after a Latino. That's pretty ballsy. I just, it's more rhetoric from the Democrat Party. I don't know. Weinstein added that Walz made a wise decision, Walz is the judge, by allowing both prosecutors and defense lawyers to sit in with him as he spoke to jurors. What they learned during those sessions will also likely clear the DOJ's decision to retry the case. But until a final decision is made, the case against Mendez will continue to hang over his head as he gears up for an unexpected run for re-election next year to the Senate. Now, he's going to run his mouth. But here's the thing. He was not found innocent. He was not found innocent. Make sure you understand that. He was not found innocent. He was found. It was a mistrial because people couldn't agree on charges. He is neither guilty nor innocent. He is in limbo. It's, I don't know. On Capitol Hill, the top Republican in the Senate, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, called on the Ethics Committee to immediately investigate Mendez for possible violation of the public trust and the Senate Code of Conduct. The case against Mendez marked the first time in almost a decade that a sitting U.S. Senator faced a federal bribery charge. According to the criminal complaint, Mendez greased the wheels for Salomon Melgen, a Florida optometrist. We've talked pretty extensively about this case. It's... Don't know how much more you can talk about it. I don't know. It's a joke. And it's proven more and more, the Democrats are proving more and more that there is a two-tier justice system in this country. The politicians have one, and us peons have another. And that's what they think of us. We're nothing little peons just to do what they want and make them money. As long as we reelect them, they're happy. We pay our taxes and flood their pockets with money. As I just spilled my coffee on my face. And what's funny is you always hear about conservative versus Democrat and all that. And Republican Senator Lindsey Graham went and testified on Mendez. You know, it's... Republicans, this whole Republican Democrat thing is a lot of lip service that they tell the American people, while in the background, it's more of a joke to them. I was able to drink my coffee without spilling it on me. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, I'm kind of fed up with this whole system that we have going on. Then they wonder why people are getting pissed, and while the likes of Trump has gotten elected, while Judge Moore is still doing good, why Bannon is so successful right now. It's because of crap like this that is going on. It's not just the swamp. I mean, this whole system is corrupt beyond anybody's imagination. Now, I never doubted it was corrupted. But since I started doing these shows, I have come to realize and see just how bad it really is. It is worse than I could even imagine. I don't even think I could have wrote a television show that would compare to actual Washington, D.C. This is when I'm almost embarrassed to be an American. When I see shit like this, when I see Clinton getting away time and time again, when we have the mainstream media covering up crimes for the Democrat Party, covering up briberies, pay-to-play schemes, and just destroying people's lives so that they can get elected. The lying, cheating, and stealing that goes on. Hell, even the mafia has a better code of conduct than Congress does. Oh, it's unbelievable. I'm stuttering from it. I know, and I just can't believe just how bad it's gotten over the years. It's a joke, and not funny joke. Oh man, it's all right. What we're gonna set up for total brain fart. Money Talks with Melanie Minute, and then we're gonna head to break. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week, we're going to discuss interest rates. Why are they important? Well, they're important on two sides of your financial coin. On the one side, you have your debt. Credit card debt, loans, and things like that. You always want to get the lowest interest rate possible. Why? That means that money is costing you a lot less to borrow with a lower interest rate. And speaking of that, when you're looking at which loan or which credit card to pay off first, you're always going to look at the interest rate. Which one has the highest interest rate? That's the one you want to start paying off first. On the savings side of the financial coin, what kind of savings account do you want to open? Which one should you choose? You will always choose the one with the best interest rate. And on the savings side, the best interest rate will be the highest interest rate. This means it will yield you the highest amount of return. And that's it for your Money Talk Minute of the week. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. So, anything new come about today? Al Franken. Poor little buddy. He's not having a good week. Because earlier in the week, I was going to report on how he got schooled by fellow Democrats during a committee. Senators had to explain to Democrat Senator Al Franken of Minnesota the economic underlying federal oil and gas leasing during a hearing on opening up more area in Alaska to drill. Now, Franken opposes a Republican bill to open a small portion of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to oil and gas exploration, arguing it could impact the porcupine caribou native to the region. Franken also went on a long rant about why it didn't make economical sense to him to open up more Alaskan lands to drill when millions of acres were left untapped by oil companies. Franken sits on the Senate Committee on Energy and National Resource. This is a very contentious issue, and since there's another million acres that are already leased, oil companies don't lease land. At least I don't think they do. It doesn't make any sense to me, Franken said in the hearing. I don't know the oil business, but why would you lease anything where you didn't think there was oil? It doesn't make any business sense. Well, that's why he's not in business anymore, and maybe he ought to go back to comedy. Maybe he ought to go back to SNL. Maybe he'd go back to being a writer for Bill Maher. I don't know. Well, the situation didn't make sense to the other senators who sat on the committee that's supposed to oversee such programs. They get contracts, and the contracts might be for 10 years. You got to show you have the reserves to produce, or you won't get a long-term contract, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, a Democrat, explained to Franken. So, if you do deplete what you have, you got to be able to go somewhere else to complete the contract, or you lose it, Manchin stated. So economically, it's basically for the leases and to fulfill the contract. If you can't do that, show that you have the reserves, can't get the contract, he stated. Alaskan Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, the committee chair, chimed in as well, noting if oil companies knew exactly where the oil was, that would life easier. But the fact of the matter is they purchase leases, and there's no certainty that there is productive reserves that are underneath. Murkowski also noted that many drilling leases sites sit unused for years because of lengthy permitting times. They don't produce immediately. Leases do not produce immediately. Alaska is a pretty telling case of that. It takes 10 years plus, unfortunately, sometimes even longer than that because of permitting, the NEPA, all of the review, it all takes time. Murkowski is spearheading the effort to open up 1002 area to drilling. She recently introduced legislation as part of the budget reconciliation process to raise about $1.1 billion from the region. Franken introduced an amendment to have the Interior Department make sure all current drilling leases were used up before offering new ones. seems he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. What he does know is sexual harassment. And I'm sorry. They're calling it groping. I call it rape. Now, there's an incident with a female. Ah, damn it, I thought I had that article. No, dang it. Yeah, I'll just go with this. He's not just being accused. It came with a photo. It came with admitting guilt. But yet he's still a senator. That's the strange part. We'll get into that in a moment. But the slate, which is just left-leaning. From the slate, Mark Joseph Stern. On Thursday morning, Los Angeles radio host Leanne Tweeden wrote a disturbing article alleging that Senator Al Franken sexually harassed her on a 2006 USO tour. According to Tweeden, Franken coerced her into rehearsing a kiss for a skit, then forcibly stuck his tongue in her mouth. She also provided a photo of Franken appearing to grope her while she slept. Appearing? No, he was grabbing in her chest area while she slept. She was sleeping and he was copping a feel. Yes, she had a flak jacket on. Doesn't mean shit. She was asleep, was not consenting. That is rape. There is no rational reason to doubt the truth of Tweeden's accusation, no legitimate defense of Franken's action, and no ambiguity, you know what I mean, here at all. Franken should resign from the Senate immediately. Democrats should call for him to step down straight away. This revelation is a test of the Democrat Party's consistency, honesty, and decency. If Democrats wish to preserve whatever moral standing they have today, they must exhort Franken to leave the Senate with no hesitation or reservation. The hypocrisy of Franken's reaction is galling. Following the Harvey Weinstein scandal, the senator wrote an impassioned Facebook post declaring that sexual harassment is appalling and far too common. He added that it takes a lot of courage to come forward, and we owe them our thanks. Franken then praised Gretchen Carlson for writing about the disappointing responses women often face when they go public, both embolden harassers and encouraging victims to stay silent. Yet another self-proclaimed defender of women's rights has revealed himself to be a misogynistic fraud. Franken's ardent promotion of gender equality on the Senate floor is rendered meaningless in the face of his disgusting conduct. As we know, they haven't called for him to step down today. They called for both McConnell and Schumer, and Franken called for an ethics investigation. They called for an investigation which would take over a year. Now let's go to Judge Moore. There's no facts. Blind accusations from 40 years ago. And they, both Democrat and Republican leaders, said that he must resign immediately. He must walk away. He must leave the race immediately. Now, there's no facts to back that up. But there's pictures, there's admitting from a sitting senator, and they call for an investigation. Anybody see the hypocrisy right there? That right there is the Democrat Party being a joke. Accusations with no facts. They want people to resign. Their senator gets caught in a photograph and nothing. They want to investigate. They want to talk. They do not have the high road anymore. They show just how disgusting they are to the public. They have protected Bill Clinton. They protected the likes of Ted Kennedy. They have protected the likes of Harvey Weinstein. I know Harvey Weinstein isn't a politician, but they have helped him. And now this, their senator gets caught red-handed and nothing. I don't ever want to hear shit out of the Democrats ever again. What Franken did is the actual war on women. That is war on women. He got shot down from his trying to get a cheap kiss and cheap, thrill. So he tried embarrassing her. It's disgusting. I mean, the photo's out there. And I thought it would be funny. No, I look at it, it's not funny. No, it isn't. It's rape. And the Democrats sit back and do nothing. And McConnell shows that his little attack on Judge Moore, was just that. It's a setup. Because McConnell's reaction to all this, instead of calling for the immediate resignation, we need to have an ethics committee investigation. Swamp protecting swamp. And this is why McConnell has got to fucking go. All those senators, all those congressmen that jumped all over Roy Moore are pretty quiet. They might be calling for some investigations, but they're not calling for him, Franken, to resign. They're not calling for the removal of Franken. What did they say? Even if Roy Moore wins the election, we're going to have him removed. We'll decertify the election. We'll do this. We'll do that. But yet, nothing. Silence. That's all I hear. It's amazing. It's disgusting is what it is. I mean, seriously, what do you hear? Nothing. You hear nothing out of them. I don't know. I'm so fed up, even with the likes of McConnell. And if he is still the leader after the first of the year, when they vote, I believe they're going to vote again. They vote every year, I think it is. I'm done with the Republican Party. I am disgusted. I don't know. But it's politics for you. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. Ah, damn it. Thought I was going to get away with this show. Nope. Had it on. All right. I don't know. Elizabeth Warren condemned her colleague, Senator Al Franken, after a woman, alleged that the Minnesota no, there's pictures of it. The behavior reported today is unacceptable and deeply disappointing. Warren's Republican challenger for U.S. Senate, Jeffrey Dye, called for Warren to denounce Franken's alleged conduct after Franklin admitted to sexually harassing the woman. After Massachusetts senator released her statement condemning Franklin, Dye suggested that Warren has not gone far enough in denouncing the Minnesota senator because she has not removed video of herself with Franken from her Facebook page. I love that. Democrats hold the Republicans to this standard, and it's never enough, never enough. Go ahead. Because if you take the high road, they're not going to play it forward. They're not, they didn't. They took the high road. We can't do it. No, they're going to sit there and laugh at them. It's not dirty pool. It's none of that. It's stating the facts. They hold the Republicans up to this high, ungodly standard. Put them there, too. Put them up on that pole or that stadium and make them uphold to their standards. If that made sense. I just... unacceptable. Yeah, it's unacceptable. For anybody who hasn't seen it, I mean, here, I'm going to try to find... See if I can find a couple quick videos to throw up. And now there's supposedly some other women that are stepping up also. Oh, and MSNBC/NBC, both of them, tried to, first of all, NBC called, I think it was NBC, called the female a outright liar. MSNBC said, he didn't technically grope her because he wasn't touching her, and they're depicting it and trying to come up with every goddamn excuse they can to justify not calling them out. Trying to find a good video, or at least soundbite. See what CNN had to say today. No. Let's play Al Franken's apology. All right, let's see, where is it? Well, tell me there's a video. I saw a video. Yes. I don't. Guy Cecil, that was not an apology. It was an insufficient response to serious allegation. Al Franken must be held accountable if our party wants to live up to our commitment to women and girls. All right, that one was a pretty good. What the hell is the video? Come on. Oh, here it is. Duh. All right. Here's the audio.
I guess I've always wondered if I had any talent.
Oh, you've got talent.
Acting talent. And he's like, well, we need to practice the kissing scene. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I just sort of blew him off. So I was just like, okay, fine, just so he would shut up, you know. And he just sort of came at me, and we did the line, and he came at me, and before you even know it, I mean, you kind of get close, and he just put his hand on the back of my head, and he mashed his face against, I mean, it happened so fast, and he just mashed his lips against my face, and he stuck his tongue in my mouth so fast. It was a photo of Al doing his, you know, this on my breast, like looking at the camera, just kind of smirking and smiling, like, hey, look at me. And I took that as the, you know, the final, like, like I got the last laugh.
During the show, I was kind of the co-host with a beautiful woman named Leanne Tweeden.
Now, I thought it would actually give an audio of what he had to say, but it doesn't seem to.
My husband and I saw him at a USO Metro Gala a couple years after, and I was very cold to him. He found me in a room and said, hello, Leanne, and I said, hi, Al. And I turned and walked away from him, and my husband said, hi, Al, and turned and walked away from him, and he didn't get it then and didn't apologize to me then. So if he didn't get it then and didn't say, I'm sorry for, you know, anything that I did, you know, and it took this for the apology. So, but whatever. It's, you know, I'm glad that that second apology, I think maybe he had some time to digest it and think about it. And, you know, I believe him. And I think it is heartfelt.
So, his apology. The first thing I want to do is apologize to Leanne, to everyone else who was part of that tour, to everyone who has worked for me, to everyone I represent, and to everyone who counts on me to be an ally and supporter and champion of women. There's more I want to say, but the first and most important thing, and if it's the only thing you care to hear, that's fine, is I'm sorry. Where's the rest of that statement? Come on. Fucking CNN site sucks. Let me tell you that. He doesn't remember the rehearsal of the skit in the same way, but he sends his sincere apologies to Leanne. As to the photo, it was clearly intended to be funny, but wasn't. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, grabbing a woman while she's sleeping is oh so funny. Yeah, I'm just taken aback by this. This is disgusting behavior, and the Democrats keep allowing it to happen and happen and happen. They have, with their protecting Bill Clinton over the years, they have said it's okay. They have outright protected Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton has been culpable in that. I've talked about it ad nauseum. I mean, someone like, well, she's a victim. No, she isn't. She has helped Bill Clinton. She has helped silence the accusers, the victims. She has just done everything she can to make it easier for this to happen in politics. And I'm hearing that, yes, there is a Republican and a Democrat that have been known to sexually harass women. And then I'm hearing that you don't go in an elevator as a female with any of the senator, any of the congressmen. But I also read where a woman put the females are just as bad. They're sleeping around to get support for their bills. And if they ever came out and talked about sexual harassment and so forth, they would never get a bill passed because nobody would help them. I highly doubt that is actually going to go on. I mean, that if they came out and made accusations that nobody would help them with a bill, bullshit. That's a sorry excuse for staying silent. And being silent, you are just at fault as the person doing the sexual harassment because you're allowing that predator to stay out there. Now, there's always exception to every rule, but for the most part, those that stay quiet, the Harvey Weinstein, they stayed quiet. Why did they stay quiet? Because they wanted to make it in Hollywood. They wanted to become millionaires. So they stayed quiet and allowed that man to keep sexually attacking women after women after women after women. And I know I've said this before and I've gotten attacked for this. I don't give a shit. This is my feelings. If you're silent about it, you're helping that person commit more crimes. You're encouraging him with your silence. It's not easy to come forward. I don't doubt that it's not easy. But you can't be silent. Like I said, there's exception to every rule. But for the most part, especially with these women in the Washington, D.C., these women in Hollywood. You have women that are powerful. Likes of Angelina Jolie. She is powerful, but yet she remained silent for decades. Even after she became powerful, she was still silent. She helped Harvey Weinstein commit his heinous crimes. And yes, Leanne, to a degree, being quiet and not bringing it out. And now we're hearing that there might be others coming forward about Al Franken. I mean, it's... And I've never understood that, we settled for money and I was quiet, so I didn't say nothing. Bullshit. Someone attacks my daughter, there is not enough money in this fucking world to keep me quiet. I am going to go to the highest fucking mountain and scream from it what happened. To try to prevent something. Try to prevent it from ever happening again to another person. It is bullshit. It's ridiculous. And yes, I have a daughter and she's 14. And someone ever did something, there's not a goddamn figure that could keep me silent. In fact, I'd probably need a shitload of money because I'd be kicking your goddamn ass not taking a payoff. But you look at the Roy Moore, Judge Moore. You're going from 4 decades old, and not speaking up. Now you want to speak up when he's running from a very important Senate seat? Something doesn't sound right there to me. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. I'm at a loss for what I'm seeing in our politics. These people have been getting away with too much for too long. But one thing we do know is, coming up top of the hour is BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ himself, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. So stay tuned, join in, have fun. I'll be coming up in about, 53 minutes. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, honestly, what do you think? I mean, they have Joe Biden. Now it's starting to come out about Joe Biden, too. Secret Service. One of the ex-Secret Service that worked with Joe Biden said that they had, like, extra guys because he was so handsy. His nickname was Handsy. He was constantly grabbing women and touching them and feeling them. And I'm surprised someone hasn't complained about him. I mean, there's photo after photo of him grabbing women's breast. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. It's the typical Democrat. When they're screaming and pointing at somebody else, look behind the curtain, because that's what they're doing. And you got Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, Ted Kennedy, now Al Franken, and you know, outside of politics, you got the liberal Hollywood that's been just... I don't know. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And here's the other thing. Senator Al Franken, you know, he was accused and whatever. Hang on. Hey, actually, I didn't know this one. When asked about Trump's hot mic back from the Hollywood Access tape in 2005 that resurfaced during the 2016 election, Franken seemed to hold his fire, not calling for Trump to step down, as even other Republican candidates did. I've been in a lot of locker room, and I belong to a health club in Minneapolis, and you can tell our locker room banter is stuff like, is Trump crazy? So I don't know what locker room he may work out with Roger Ailes, he joked. The allegations against Franklin come as he and other Republican senators have called for Judge Roy Moore to drop out of the Alabama Senate race for allegations against him from 4 decades ago and are threatening him with an ethics probe if he wins. You know, they're calling for, again, Senator Mitch McConnell is calling for an ethics probe on Franken, but not calling for him to step down. That's the stuff that pisses me off. That's the stuff that sickens me. It's ridiculous. I'm blown away. I mean, I don't know. Al Franken also joked about raping Leslie Stahl in 1995 New York Magazine article. Franklin, then a comedian, was quoted in 1995 New York Magazine article discussing a skit for Saturday Night Live that involved drugging and raping CBS reporter Leslie Stahl. Franklin, at the time a writer for SNL, suggested one skit should play out with 60 Minutes commentator Andy Rooney finding an empty pill bottle on his desk. I give the pills to Leslie Stahl. Then when Leslie is passed out, I take her to the closet and rape her. Or that's why you never see Leslie until February. Or when she passes out, I put her in various positions and take pictures of her. Franklin was quoted saying. The article, along with a 2000 Playboy column in which Franklin talks about fantasizing a machine would perform oral sex on him, was used to attack Franklin during his 2008 Senate campaign in Minneapolis. Republican women also gathered to demand Franklin explain himself, according to Pioneer Press. Franklin eventually apologized for his crude remarks, but he later wrote in his book, Al Franklin, Giant of the Senate, that he faked the apology to get the necessary support for his election win, according to the New York Times. To say I was sorry for writing a joke was to sell out my career, to sell out who I'd been my entire life. And I wasn't sorry that I had written Porno-Rama or pitched that stupid Leslie Stahl joke at 2 a.m. I was doing my job. He added, I learned that campaigns have their own rules, their own laws of physics, and that I wasn't willing to accept that. I would never get to be a senator. So he admits to outright lying to the American people. And they're dumb enough to keep electing him. So, since he's apologized before and admitted that he lied about the apology, is he his apology today? Is that another bullshit lie? I wouldn't put it past him. Would you? I mean, Jesus, he's already lied about it once. I don't know. It's... Same crap, different day. I don't know. It's... How much more do we keep sitting back and taking? It's... I'm looking through some stuff. Ooh, that would be interesting to listen to. Dianne Feinstein making some comments about illegal aliens back in 1994. Border control is a federal responsibility. We simply don't enforce our borders adequately. Where is the damn video? I am waiting for it to pop up and I'll play it for you guys. Come on. Everything's loading up a little slow. Like I said, Comcast sucks. Comcast sucks. It really, really sucks. Frontier. No, I don't know. Anybody has seen The Waterboy, you might get that joke I just did. Now I can't find it. Damn it. Come on. Come on. Alright. Let's play this. Might take
Border control is a federal responsibility. We simply don't enforce our borders adequately. In my state, you have about 2,000 people a day illegally who cross the border. Illegally. Now, this adds up to about 2 million people who compete for housing, who compete for classroom space. We've had a Medicaid situation where in 1988 there were about 3,000 people on Medicaid. There are well over 300,000 today who are illegal aliens. That presents obvious problems.
And now they encourage it. You know, it wasn't long ago Hillary Clinton was bashing illegal immigration, Chuck Schumer, all of them. You know, it wasn't long ago. Now, all of a sudden, because now they're going to try to get them to vote, and we've seen it. We got them voting local elections in certain areas. It's... You had Bill Clinton out there basically giving the same speech that Trump has given. You know, the ones that they keep saying is racist. Here's Bill Clinton back in 1995.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Now, I played that during the election. You know, it's amazing how when a Democrat says it, it's, oh, it was just a different time back then. Now it's, oh my God. I don't, it's... Democrat Party is a joke. Period. I'm taking a look at something real quick and see what... This is nothing new. It's like they just fired 5 hosts from Fox. No, these are people that have been gone for a little bit. Stupid. Ah, damn it. Everything's falling over on me. All right, we're going to pop up a Melanie Talks Minute, and then we're going to head to break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and we will be right back.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week, we're going to discuss interest rates. Why are they important? Well, they're important on two sides of your financial coin. On the one side, you have your debt, credit card debt, loans, and things like that. You always want to get the lowest interest rate possible. Why? That means that money is costing you a lot less to borrow with a lower interest rate. And speaking of debt, when you're looking at which loan or which credit card to pay off first, you're always going to look at the interest rate. Which one has the highest interest rate? That's the one you want to start paying off first. On the savings side of the financial coin, what kind of savings account do you want to open? What one should you choose? You will always choose the one with the best interest rate. And on the savings side, the best interest rate will be the highest interest rate. This means it will yield you the highest amount of return. And that's it for your Money Talk Minute of the Week. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. And how are you doing, BZ? Speaking of BZ, don't forget, coming up top of the hour, about 33 minutes, will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ himself. The drinks are, the speech is free. The drinks cost money. So pull up a chair, bring your credit card, leave your wife at home. What, you couldn't hear my commercials? What the? Oh, boy. Check that out. Next break. That's weird. That's weird. I don't know. I'll take a look at it. Don't forget, next week I won't be here all week. I will be in the Poconos. I will be freezing my tuchus off. Yes, I said tuchus. And yes, I will be freezing. I live in Florida. I'll be going to the Poconos where they just had snow the other day. Oh, what was I thinking? Yeah, I was looking at well, there's only a couple volume. And I had the volume turned down a little bit, but see how that goes. So, in the wake of the outpouring of sexual misconduct allegations hitting the world of media and politics, the left is slowly but steadily turning on former President Bill Clinton and even former Vice President Joe Biden over his behavior over women. Both of them are right now, without hearing any accusations from about Joe Biden, except the handsy stuff. Bill Clinton is the worst of them all. It's funny how now, because they've been getting roasted for years on, when they tried to attack Republicans and accuse them of being sexual offenders, and it kept getting thrown into their face about protecting Bill Clinton, the whole host of them. I've been naming them all show. You got, Ted Kennedy. And if you don't know about Ted Kennedy, he was held up on a silver platter up on this great mountain as the greatest senator. And he had an affair, I think it was, with this woman. He got in a drunk driving accident where he drove into Chappaquiddick Creek and left the woman there and didn't say anything for 10 hours, and she ended up drowning. And he didn't get charged with it. He got away with it. He got away with murder. And nothing. And they held him up as this great senator. Sort of like what they did with Bill Clinton. Look at this great president. Yeah, he only got freaky with cigars and somebody that was like 27 years younger than him. But now they're starting to talk about, we're going to have to take a look. We have protected them. And a lot of them go, we were young. We didn't know any better. Bullshit. But we had to protect it. We couldn't call it out because the evil Republicans would have won then if we called out the evilness of the Democrats. So we protected the evil. And that's the funny part is they always accuse the Republican Party of all this evilness. But then you always hear how they're covering up Democrats' evil. But if we didn't do that, the Republicans would have won. So you have no problem lying, cheating, stealing to win an election. Gotcha. I see how it is. I don't know. It's ridiculous. The former VP is taking heat in liberal publications over past claims of inappropriate touching. There's photos of him grabbing breast upon breast upon breast. If you didn't know any better, you'd think he was a doctor checking for cancer, breast cancer. I know, bad joke, but, that's constantly grabbing women's breasts. Allegations against Clinton are far more serious and long-standing. But while Clinton family allies brushed them off during the heated 2016 presidential race, liberal writers and commentators suddenly have gained an appetite for revisiting them. If you notice, they went after Trump with the same tactics they're going after Roy Moore with. Same exact tactic. First, it was one accusation. Well, then a second person comes up, and then three more. And that's how it was with Trump. It was like one, then another, and then three of them came out of nowhere. And it's like, oh, my God. And I was sitting here, what was it, last week when those accusations started coming out. I was like, okay, one, another one. Oh, wait, three of them going to come out, and boom, they come out this week. Boom, 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 boom. It's the same tactic they used. And the same defense. These are accusations. You have protected Bill Clinton, who was caught having sex with an intern. He's been accused of rape. He's had all this. And then Hillary silenced them. So Democrats are always, we'll make an excuse, but we got to drop this subject. We got to drop it. We can't go on with it. Now, let me tell you, and I've talked to several women who I asked, if a man sexually assaulted you, harassed you, assaulted you, raped you, and you came out and it was, let's say, Joe Schmo from Kokomo, who's running for leader of the Galactic Republic of Democrats, and you came out, you got the guts to stand up to him, you came out, and you accused him, and he won the election, would you back down? And all going, hell no, if I came out, I'm going all the way. If he did that, I'm going to go right. But have you noticed what goes on? The accusations get made. And those tactics don't work. And all of a sudden, poof, everybody disappears. No more case. No more accusations. They just all, poof, gone. So what does that tell you? That tells me that those were hit pieces. Those were bullshit accusations used to try to take down an opponent by any means necessary. And I believe that is what is going on again with Moore. Until they show some proof, and I'm sorry, a supposed yearbook being signed is not proof of sexual assault to me. Because there's other things that are popping up. First of all, I want to make sure that wasn't done yesterday. Number two, there's talks that it's a stamped autograph, which means, the secretary was stamping to give autographs. Boom, 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 boom. And then she was signing DA after those to show that she stamped it. And now they're saying that that's in the yearbook, the DA. But the Democrats go, no, that's him being egotistical and saying he's the district attorney. No, that was the initials of the assistant that was doing the stamping. I forget her, Diane, something like that. So you know what? But I'm glad, and they're only doing it to try to stop the Republicans from throwing it in their face. So they can now say, well, we talked. We talked about it. We pointed out, yes, he was, and we did screw up and help protect him. But we have had a coming to Jesus moment, and we no longer protect him, so you can't talk about it anymore. And that's what they're trying to do. And it's still not going to work. It's still not going to work. I think it's also... Listen, Bill Clinton's how old? His time's done. Hillary, yeah, she's still yipping her mouth, but I think her time in the DNC is done. Gone. Bye-bye. So they have no problem throwing them under the bus. I don't know if I would want to do that with the Clintons because they know where all the bodies are buried and they can always burn the DNC down to the ground. hypothetically, not literally, hypothetically burn them down to the ground. So but I could see them they've been saying it, they've been wanting Hillary to shut up and all that. They want her just to go away back into the woods. They're willing to they're willing to throw them under the bus so that they can use these tactics anytime they want from here on out. And it doesn't help either, like I talked about with the goddamn Hollywood. They've been protecting these scumbags for how long now? They've been protecting these sexual predators. And why these sexual predators, ranging from, the dipshit Al Franken going out there giving speeches about women and women's right and protecting women, and Republicans are at war. Harvey Weinstein has gone out there. Kevin Spacey, all of them have gone out there and bitched and moaned. Talked about how great women's rights is. We got to protect them as they're attacking them. And they think that if they go and they talk about it, it excuses them. They're higher. They're enlightened. They can do this. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. It's disgusting. I find it repulsive. And I've been on the other end of a false accusation. I've been there. And I know how that side is. And it's not fun. Chelsea Handler has now apologized to Broderick. What is it? I just had her first name. Juanita Broderick. She accused Clinton of raping her. And Chelsea Handler actually apologized for not believing and thinking about her. Do you know the one that we'll never hear about? Sexually harassing? I don't think we'll ever hear anybody accusing, well, Hillary Clinton, she sexually harassed me. She touched me in my no-no spot. I don't think we'll ever hear that. I really don't. I don't think we'll ever hear Hillary Clinton going, well, he touched me where he shouldn't have. He tried to force him. Because anybody that tried to force themselves onto that woman, oh, my God. I think I just threw up in my mouth. Oh, boy. All right, I got to get that image out of my head. Image out of my head. No. Oh. All right. I'll get some complaints about that. I know I will. Oh, it's almost time. Got one more break, one more segment. Don't forget, I just want to remind everybody next week, Thanksgiving week, I will not be here. I will not be here, BZ, to give you all this free publicity, charging everybody up before your great show. I won't be here next week. Well, I wasn't here a couple of days this week because of goddamn Comcast. Damn Comcast. Swear they're out to get a SHR Media. I'm blaming Comcast. It's Comcast. They're in bed with the NSA. I'm telling you. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up next is the BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ himself. The speech is free, but the drinks are not. Pull up a chair and have some fun. That'll be coming up in about, I'd say 13 minutes or less. Just read that the Keystone, not the Keystone XL, the Keystone pipeline, has sprung a leak and has lost 200,000 gallons of oil into South Dakota. This is why they've also talked about that they want to do the Keystone XL. It's to replace the Keystone pipeline that was aging and not up to par. And the new one, it has several safety devices built in. So this is a good reason why we need the new pipeline. One thing I had to laugh about is I was reading and watching some of this Jeff Sessions. He had to go in front of Congress. And he was grilled by Democratic lawmakers. And one of the accusations is that the White House played a role in the Justice Department's reported efforts to require significant changes to the AT&T merger with Time Warner. Sessions, testifying to House Judiciary Committee, said in a response that he would not comment on any non-public communication with the White House. The allegation that the merger approval process had been subject to political influence is particularly ironic because it was only 5 months ago that several Democrat senators penned a letter to Sessions urging the Justice Department to block the merger. So they're blocking the merger, and now the Democrats are complaining that he took their advice and blocked it. Oh, my God. There was questions going all the way back to Obama about this merger. There was questions whether it could get approved. Oh, and that group of senators that sent the letter was Al Franken, Bernie Sanders, Sherrod Brown, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, and Edward Merkley. And they wrote, "We are writing to urge the Department of Justice to closely scrutinize AT&T's proposed acquisition of Time Warner. We have strong concerns that the combined company's unmatched control of popular content and distribution of that content will lead to higher prices, fewer choices, and poorer quality service for Americans. Substantial harms that cannot be remedied with unreliable, unenforceable, and time-limited conditions." More recently, Franken wrote an opinion piece arguing that the merger is a raw deal for the rest of us that was published just one day before the news broke that the Department of Justice has asked AT&T to divest itself with either DirecTV or Turner Broadcasting System content, which includes CNN, to win approval of the deal. In July, a group of public interest organizations asked Sessions to reject the merger. The proposed merger between AT&T and Time Warner would create a media and telecommunication giant with the ability to use its assets to dominate markets, hold back competition, and harm consumers by inflating prices and impeding new video service, the letter read. But on Tuesday, Democrats seem more interested in exploring the unsubstantiated conspiracy theory that Trump White House had somehow corrupted the process of the professional civil servant attorneys in the Justice Department's antitrust division. Both Congressman Hank Johnson of Georgia and Congressman David Cecilian of Rhode Island focused on the allegations, with Cecilian calling them disturbing. Sessions said he would not comment on communications with the White House and questions the accuracy of media reports about the Justice Department's position on the merger. When the deal was announced in the fall of 2016, Trump said he opposed to it. As an example of the power structure I'm fighting, AT&T is buying Time Warner and thus CNN, a deal we will not approve in my administration because it is too much concentration of power. That was Trump back in October of 2016. Trump has been a frequent critic of CNN, calling it fake news network. Democrat and Republicans both alike have called for this merger to be blocked. They do it, and now the Democrats are crying about it. This is the joke that is the Democrat Party. This is the one that makes you laugh. Not the Franken that's sexually assaulting, raping women. And yes, I'm using that R word because he physically touched a woman without her permission while she slept. That's rape. All right, what do we got? Oh! In a provocative new essay, NBC News Think claims that science has proven that having kids is bad for the environment, and therefore having many children is wrong, or at least morally suspect. NBC is now saying having kids, perpetuating the human race, is a bad thing. An article titled, "Science Proved Kids Are Bad for Earth. Morality Suggests We Stop Having Them." Bioethics, Travis, jackass, argues that having a child is a major contributor to climate change, and thus everyone on Earth ought to consider having fewer children. I know one set of parents that should have had less children. This Travis, writer, his parents should have thought about having one less kid. An ominous warning to parents, Travis declares that we need to stop pretending kids don't have environmental or ethical consequences before comparing the decision to have children to that of freeing a convicted murderer from jail. Consider this case. Travis proposed, if I release a murderer from prison knowing full well that he intends to kill innocent people, then I bear some responsibility for those deaths, even though the killer is also fully responsible. Something similar is true. I think when it comes to having children, once my daughter is an autonomous agent, she will be responsible for her missions, but that does not negate my responsibility. The unarticulated supposition behind this line of reasoning is that the environment is valuable for its own sake, rather than the sake of the human beings who inhabit the earth. Therefore, if humans cause dangerous climate change, fewer humans is a good thing. Similar arguments were famously employed by Paul Ehrlich, author of the 1968 doomsday bestseller, The Population Bomb, which spawned mass hysteria over the future of the world and the Earth's ability to sustain human life. To allow women to have as many children as they want is like letting people throw as much of their garbage into the neighbor's backyard as they want. As a logical consequences of this position, that Paul has defended mass sterilization, sex-selective abortions, and infanticide, since by his worldview, human beings are the enemies of the planet, the religion of environmentalism. Overbreeding is a mortal sin, while population control by any means is a sacrament. Oh, my. Can't we start with those idiots? So they stop spewing this type of crap? All right. I'm going to leave it in that thought. And I'm going to head out for the night. Hopefully I'll be back unless Comcast decides to screw me over again tomorrow. And with that, I want to wish everybody a great night. Be safe. Coming up next in about 4 minutes is going to be VZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. Have a great night. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.